Hi, I'm Lisa Rogal. I'm going to be reading from my book, Belle, Indifference, which was published by Cuneiform Press in 2020. No big thing. I want to say thanks, and hug you. I want to say you mean so much to me. I want to say I love you, really, but not sexually. I want to say I love you even though I think you're fucked up. You fucked up in many ways, but I love your existence. But I don't want to touch you, okay? Or I want to touch you, but I don't want you to touch me. I want to touch when I'm feeling up to it. I want you to recognize when I feel up to it and touch me, please. It's hard to imagine being close to anyone else in the future. I forget how it happens. Being close to the body, breaking the exterior, making it comfortable, making friends. They make me into a person. When the waiter brings me ice, I want to reach or cry, but he is just embarrassed doing his job. He forgot to take my order, and I said nothing because I don't know how to interact. Many days or times I fail. I can't remember how. I lose sight, the ability. I have to be alone. I don't enjoy it, but what can I do? It's as if I've lost the ability, the speech. What does one say here and here? I'm rusty. You want me to speak, say I'm good, how I'm doing, a story for you? I have a story for you. I wanted to touch a man on the subway by leaning back into his large belly. I was attracted to him in a non-sexual way. I was attracted to his warm, big belly as a place to lie against. Another man on the train told a woman sitting across from him that he was going to show her what a man does. I'm going to show you, bitch. I'm going to show you when we get off this train what a man does. I think she knew him because she yelled back, "You're tough, oh, you're tough." I wanted the other man's belly against my back. It was strange. Why? Was he attractive in some way? Maybe in some way, of course, to someone. This was the thought that got me. I couldn't tell if he was trying to touch me. If he was trying to touch me, he would ruin it. It seemed he might be trying to touch me, but maybe it was just the train movement. He had his hand on the bar, his arm hanging above and around me, but not touching me. I could have stepped back into him easily. Then it seemed he was trying to touch me, so I moved away. I still thought of him for the rest of the train ride. Where was he? Still over there? I heard the yelling man yelling the whole way. I was glad to be farther where he couldn't touch me. I guess I wanted to be touched in a way, as a way of comfort. But isn't that so silly? I mean, simple. Isn't that too simple in this life? Sometimes a man stares at me for a second. I don't get much of an impression. He seems angry. He seems angry, then indifferent. Is he angry or what? He looks, but there's not smiling. I don't invite it. I'm surprised by almost anything. Where's my head? I have weak powers of prediction and a rich fantasy, the shrink said. The psychic. There are layers now between the skin and the world. It's presentational. We were physically abused, emotionally abused, pregnant while being abused, and, selling fruit. The air is growing cool, the Chrysler building's crown glowing, rosy tendrils curling rock, pink tide seeping in. I do not hook up. We're living in the future. We don't need anything. I just ache all over. You just don't know what hurts most. There are villains and heroes, dumb girls and smart girls, dead girls, savvy girls and hip girls, blue monsters, bras worth taking, plain without my makeup. It's just me underneath. It's just makeup. It's no big thing. Maybe not everything will happen. The girl got swept under because it was a river under there, under the ice, swept down the river. We talk about her when we're all together. If something like this happens, you can't stop it. I'm staring at the red branches again. I'd like to stop, wanting to smell a buttercup. Really, I want the little blue flowers to belong to me. I'm in a park, finally quiet, still a city, still it's not. The sun is keeping me out, but the wind is making me quiet. There are magnolia blossoms and a fountain I care about. This is the same place over and over for many seasons. I do not own it. There are light blue flowers that look like their tops have been cut off. It's not fun to hide part of yourself forever. It's not pleasant. Ha ha to psychoanalysis. Ha ha to ever going home. When I'm on a walk, my feet just keep moving, 2 dumb blocks, and time will never move again to the next part. Whether or not reality intervenes, I don't know. I think not. If you want to live in a fantasy, that's entirely possible. Your call. This section is called Any More Knowing Each Other. When someone I know comes out of the crowd, it always startles me. Hi, oh, hey, oh, ha, hi, you're here. I was distracted by something. The scene, scenery, this crowd. I look at my arm in the grass. I let it stay as still as possible. Little bugs may get on it. They do. It could be part of the grass and all the things that are in there. It is almost against the dirt. The arm is up with the underneath part exposed. I look like a dead girl shot up close in a crime drama. I could be a dead girl in a field. I would rather be a dead girl in a nice field like this than in a dump or a desert. One day my arm will become part of the dirt and grass and the things that are in there. I know you don't have any reason to feel grief over my arm, but certainly you grieve your own. It's strange to think I could have been a dead girl, I say to a woman. Yeah, it's like a totally different temperature in the sun. This woman is my friend. She knows what I mean. I like to fantasize that people know what I mean. I ignore these little things like everyone, but all the birds came down. Those little city birds that are just brown. This one came so close I heard its feet on the grass. It looked at me. I was lying there being nothing. It wasn't scared of me because I was reading and didn't feel like a person. There were people all around me out on the lawn. I didn't feel among them. I felt I was in the body of a woman, like always, but didn't feel like a person among people. I didn't feel anyone would talk to me. I was reading a book no one cared about. I was lying in a way that made the woman body seem nice, I suppose, but the rest of me invisible. There were other women nearby who I looked at similar, but I didn't feel like a person inside, the bird inside. This is why the bird came near. As soon as I started to feel some human thing, it flew away. It left me when it felt my mind starting. I read it was the end of the sex scene as we know it. No one can be shocked anymore by what people do without their clothes. Still, it seems no one knows anything about sex and longing. It's been split with other energy. There's so much in the day that is erotic. Really, it nearly overwhelms me. Their voice was low, the way I like. Not weak, not trying. Their voice was deep and it was quiet. It was always near my neck. I would think about anything. Just try me. This was so much I had to smile. When they couldn't see my mouth, when they couldn't see me, I would smile or I'd let my mouth drop and relax. It was very healing, whatever they were doing. I noticed a lot of hair on their neck. I noticed their slender, feminine fingers. I noticed they were very short. They seemed bland. It's easy to fall in love with anyone in their moment when they're doing it all so well. It's important not to talk to this person for long. It's important not to spoil it all with conversation. This is what I've learned. It's important not to imagine there's more, deeper. It's important not to ask for more when it's over. Not to expect there will be any more knowing each other. This last section is called What's Happening When It Happens. I'll never forget how much I wanted to kiss and how much I didn't want to have sex. And interesting, he said, let's do it, whatever we want. But I'm doing what I want and nothing gets me off like exactly what I want. The heart wants what it doesn't. The heart doesn't want what it doesn't. What the heart wants, a mouth on my mouth, tongue, my tongue, hands beneath the heavy August all over, maybe not quite. None of this means anything more than this, not connected to anything else. The reproductive pattern is a bore, and anyone can do that. Living right up against it, but never entering, never taking part, living right by the bridge, the women don't jump off it. Everyone thinks of jumping from a bridge when right up against it. I could see how someone could lose compassion for a newborn and see him as an enemy. Anemone. An email. No one should adhere to the facts that contribute to narrative. Minivans, pods of motherfucking fish are in the sea right now. And all nows accumulate to make me, meat. I am becoming a beam. I'm turning into something. Watch this. I'm turning around to see who's beside me, behind me. A man turned all the way around, down the stairs, chasing a woman into the tunnel. Here you go. Oh, thanks. You have a lovely body, day. You step into the stream, river, but the body is gone. The water. I have no excuse myself. I have to distract myself from my suffering, my desire, my own immobility, my waste and pressure, a glass moment, violence and light. The train will be my future. Forget everything I told you, all right?